Xiao Zhan appears in the very first frame. No introduction, no dramatic music, no fast cuts. He stands still, dressed in white under softened light, his posture calm, his gaze steady and lowered just slightly. And within seconds, people stop scrolling. This is Mengniu's Lunar New Year commercial. But what makes viewers pause isn't the holiday, and it isn't the product. It's Xiao Zhan. In a digital space where attention disappears in fractions of a second, something unusual happens here. People don't skip, they don't swipe, they don't jump ahead, they stay. Not because they were looking for him, but because the image quietly holds them in place. The timing matters. The Lunar New Year season is usually loud. Screens are filled with saturated reds, smiling faces, rapid cuts, cheerful music, and messages pushed at full volume. Celebration is expected to be obvious. Emotion is expected to be immediate. And then Xiao Zhan appears doing the opposite. He doesn't rush the frame. He doesn't fill the silence. He doesn't compete with the noise of the season. He stands still. And that stillness becomes the most striking element in the entire commercial. The white clothing he wears doesn't feel distant or cold. It's soft, restrained, carefully balanced. There's no excess, no decoration fighting for attention. Everything feels intentional, controlled, and calm. More importantly, the clothing never overwhelms him. He carries it naturally, as if it were an extension of his own rhythm rather than a costume designed to impress. His posture is upright but relaxed. There's no stiffness, no performance tension, just quiet composure. Then there's his gaze. Xiao Zhan doesn't stare directly into the camera in a way that demands attention or challenges the viewer. His eyes are steady, grounded, slightly lowered, the kind of gaze that doesn't search for validation. It feels like the gaze of someone who has already lived through noise, who understands chaos, and who no longer needs to respond to it loudly. And in that moment, viewers recognize something important. This isn't a character being performed. This is a state of being. That's why the image feels real. Nothing is exaggerated. Nothing is forced. Nothing asks the viewer to react immediately. Instead, the image asks for something much rarer: stillness. The pacing of the commercial mirrors Xiao Zhan's presence. The camera doesn't rush. The light doesn't shift dramatically. The frame allows space. Space to breathe, space to observe, space to feel. Then Xiao Zhan speaks. Even amid storms, we can still steer the ship forward. The line isn't delivered with dramatic emphasis. There's no musical swell underneath it. No cinematic push designed to provoke emotion. His voice is low, steady, controlled, almost as if he's thinking out loud rather than addressing an audience. And because of that, people listen, not because the words are loud, but because they're quiet. In those few seconds, many viewers realize something unexpected. They're not being sold optimism. They're not being promised success. They're not being told that everything will magically improve in the new year. They're being reminded of something simpler, that moving forward, even without certainty, is still possible. That steadiness matters. That not collapsing under pressure is already an achievement. Xiao Zhan doesn't position himself above the viewer. He doesn't act as a guide, a hero, or a spokesperson delivering a message from a higher place. He stands level with the audience. Equal, human. The image doesn't ask viewers to become better versions of themselves overnight. It doesn't push ambition or transformation. It simply says, keep going. And for many people watching, that's exactly what resonates. This is why the commercial spreads the way it does. Not through shock, not through controversy, not through spectacle. It spreads quietly. People share the clip not to show that they watched an advertisement, but because the feeling stays with them. Because it mirrors their own internal state, tired, reflective, cautious, but still moving. In this moment, Xiao Zhan doesn't represent an unattainable ideal. He represents a choice. The choice to remain composed. The choice to move forward without noise. The choice to stay grounded even when things are uncertain. There's another detail worth noticing. Throughout his appearance, Xiao Zhan makes no unnecessary movements. Every gesture is minimal. Every shift is controlled. There's no restlessness in his body language. This creates a sense of discipline, not rigid discipline, but practiced discipline. The kind that comes from experience. This isn't the calm of someone untouched by difficulty. It's the calm of someone who understands difficulty and no longer reacts impulsively to it. That's why the line he speaks doesn't feel empty. It feels lived in. In an entertainment industry built on constant replacement, where new images appear every minute and disappear just as quickly, creating a moment that makes people pause is rare. Creating one that makes them stay is even rarer. But Xiao Zhan does exactly that. Viewers stay to look more closely. They stay to hear the full line. They stay to absorb the atmosphere. His presence doesn't demand engagement, it invites it. Those who connect with it step in willingly. Those who don't are never pushed. And that restraint is precisely what gives the image its longevity. Xiao Zhan doesn't need to compete with the festive noise of the season. By standing slightly apart from it, he becomes something else entirely. An anchor, a point of calm in the middle of movement. The image doesn't promise that storms will end. It doesn't suggest certainty or resolution. It simply reminds viewers that even in unstable conditions, direction is still possible. And that reminder alone is enough to hold attention, long enough for the story to continue. Once viewers are held by Xiao Zhan's presence, the context reveals itself naturally. This is Mengniu's Lunar New Year commercial, released at the end of the year, a time when reflection becomes unavoidable and emotional fatigue quietly settles in. But the structure of the film is deliberate. There's no explosive opening, no immediate celebration, no familiar New Year tropes pushed to the front. Everything remains controlled and understated. Xiao Zhan's white outfit is accented with subtle red elements, not enough to dominate the frame, but enough to signal the season. Red here isn't spectacle, it's symbolism, fortune, renewal, hope, but presented with restraint. The visual language is clear. Tradition meets modern calm without excess. Then the line appears again, perfectly timed. Even amid storms, we can still steer the ship forward. In a New Year commercial, this message is unusual. It doesn't celebrate happiness. It doesn't focus on achievement. It doesn't promise abundance. It focuses on continuation. And when paired with Xiao Zhan, an actor known for discipline, restraint, and perseverance, the message gains credibility. Viewers don't feel like they're hearing a scripted slogan. They feel like they're witnessing a truth already lived. That's why the commercial doesn't explode across platforms through hype. It travels through resonance. Mengniu's positioning here is clear. The brand aligns the new year not with surface-level celebration, but with nourishment, health, and inner steadiness, preparation rather than performance. And Xiao Zhan doesn't elevate the brand through star power alone. He grounds it. When the film ends, there's no dramatic climax. What remains is a feeling. People don't debate it loudly. They don't analyze it aggressively. They share it quietly, like a personal New Year wish. Some say it makes them want to slow down. Some say the line arrived at exactly the right moment. Some simply say it made them feel lighter. Xiao Zhan doesn't promise clarity. He doesn't promise certainty. He stands calmly, steadily, and because nothing is overstated, the image stays. Before leaving this video, there's only one question worth holding on to. When storms appear in your own life, what helps you keep moving forward? Quietly, but with steadiness.